In a small village nestled in the mountains, there lived a woman named Maria. Maria was a kind and gentle soul, loved by all who knew her. However, Maria was different from the others in one way: she had only one eye. Maria's husband had passed away when her son, John, was just a baby. Despite the challenges she faced, Maria worked tirelessly to provide for her son. She sacrificed everything for John's happiness and well-being. As John grew older, he began to feel ashamed of his mother's appearance. He would beg her not to visit him at school, fearing that his classmates would laugh at him. "Please, mother, don't come to school," John would say. "The other kids will tease me." Maria's heart would break every time John said this. She wanted to be a part of her son's life, but she didn't want to embarrass him. So, she would stay away, hiding her tears and her sadness. Sometimes, whenever Maria passed across where John was playing with his friends, he would run away, not wanting her to present herself as his mother. One day, John was late for school, and as he hurriedly rushed out of the house, he forgot his lunch at home. When Maria saw the lunch, she felt really bad. She knew that John didn't eat his breakfast and he would be really hungry. So despite knowing that John will not be happy to see her in his school, she summoned courage to take the food to him. Maria arrived at the school during break time and she met John standing under a tree with his friends. "John, you forgot your lunch at home," Maria said, handing the lunchbox to him. John was shocked and at the same time angry that his mom came to the school to embarrass him. "Is that your mom, John?" "She is so ugly," one of John's friends asked. "Hell no, that can never be my mom. That's our cleaner and I have warned her severally to stop showing her ugly face to me. Give it to me and leave at once," John yelled out in anger. Maria's heart broke into pieces. She never knew that her son's hatred for her was up to that level. She felt a deep pain in her heart, and not wanting the children to see her tears, she immediately turned and left as John's friends made fun of her. Maria cried from the school till she got home and she just couldn't get hold of herself. The pain was unbearable. John returned home that day and acted like nothing happened. Maria didn't even bother bringing it up. She let the matter die. But from that day, she tried to avoid anything that would bring her close to John in the public. Years went by, and John grew into a handsome young man. He left the village to pursue his dreams, and Maria was left alone. She waited eagerly for John's visits, but they became fewer and farther between. One day, someone visited Maria, informing her that her son John had gotten married in the city. Maria was overjoyed, but also heartbroken. She had not been invited to the wedding, and John had not even told her about his plans to get married. Maria sorted for John's address and decided to pay him a visit, eager to meet her new daughter-in-law. A few days later, she left the village to the city, but when she arrived at John's house, she was met with a cold reception. "Mother, what are you doing here?" John asked, his voice stern and unfriendly. "I came to visit you and meet your wife," Maria replied, her eyes shining with tears. John's face turned red with anger. "You're embarrassing me, Mother," he said. "My friends are laughing at me because of your appearance." Maria's heart broke into a million pieces. She had never felt so rejected and unloved in her life. "I'm sorry, John," Maria said, her voice trembling. "I didn't mean to embarrass you. I just wanted to see you and meet your wife." John's expression didn't change. "Just go, Mother," he said. "I don't want you here." Maria turned and walked away, her tears falling like rain. She felt like she had lost her son, and she didn't know how to get him back. Months went by, and Maria heard nothing from John. She was heartbroken, but she never gave up hope. She prayed every day for her son to come back to her, to accept her and love her for who she was. One day, an old came to Maria's village. He was an old man with a kind face, and he introduced himself as an old-time friend of Maria's husband. The old man asked about Maria's son, and with tears in her, she narrated to the man what she had been going through. The old man took a deep breath. "John had an accident when he was a little boy," he said. "He lost his eye, and the doctors said he would never see again." Maria's eyes was filled with tears as the man went ahead to narrate the story. "You gave John your own eye, Maria," he said. "You saved his life, and you gave him the gift of sight." Maria's world came crashing down around her again as she remembered all the ugly incidents. She had forgotten almost about the accident, and she had never told John about the sacrifice she had made for him. She felt a wave of emotions wash over her: sadness, anger, regret. Why had John not known about her sacrifice? Why had he treated her so cruelly? The old man's next words cut through Maria's emotions like a knife. "I'm going to let him know about it, Maria," he said. "If he knew what you did for him, and he would be filled with regret and sorrow. He would want to see you, apologize and make amends." Maria's heart soared. She had never given up hope that her son would come back to her. After that day, the old man left and went to visit John. He introduced himself as his late father's old friend and John welcomed him warmly. After a few talks, the old man went ahead to narrate John's childhood to him. John could not believe his ears after hearing about the sacrifice of his mother, and his heart was torn apart as he remembered all the humiliation and injustice he had melted upon his own mother. John fell on his knees and cried like a baby. He was so ashamed of himself that he wished the earth to open up and swallow him. The old man advised him to go home and see his mother, which he immediately agreed to. At once, he got ready and drove straight to the village. The moment Maria saw him, she remembered the pain, the embarrassment, and all the tears. John in tears fell in front of her and began to apologize, his heart filled with regrets. "Mother, I'm so sorry," John said, his voice shaking. "I was blind to your love and sacrifice. I didn't know what you had done for me." Maria's eyes filled with tears as she looked at her son. She saw the regret and sorrow in his eyes, and she knew that he was truly sorry. "I forgive you, John," Maria said, her voice trembling. "I just want you to love and accept me for who I am." John got up on his knees, embracing his mother tightly. "I'm so sorry, Mother," John sobbed. "I was so blind to your love and sacrifice. I didn't know what you had done for me." Maria held her son tightly, tears streaming down her face. "I did it because I love you, John," she said. "I would do anything to make you happy." John looked up at his mother, his eyes filled with tears. "I don't deserve you, Mother," he said. "You are the most selfless and loving person I have ever known." Maria smiled, her heart filled with joy. "You deserve all the love in the world, John," she said. "And I'm so glad that you're willing to accept me for who I am." John nodded, his face still wet with tears. "I'll never let you down again, Mother," he promised. "I'll always be there for you, no matter what." Maria's heart swelled with pride and love for her son. She knew that he had finally learned the value of unconditional love and acceptance. As they hugged each other tightly, Maria felt a sense of closure and healing. She knew that she had finally found the love and acceptance she had been searching for all her life. From that day on, John and Maria's relationship was transformed. They became inseparable, and John made sure to spend quality time with his mother every day. John also made amends with his wife, telling her everything about his mother's sacrifice and his own regret. His wife was touched by the story and welcomed Maria into their home with open arms. As for Maria, she finally felt like she had found her place in the world. She was loved and accepted for who she was,